I'm excited to announce we're having a huge MyPillow spring sale, and here's a few examples. Buy one of our MyPillow 2.0s, you get another MyPillow 2.0 absolutely free. Made with cooling technology, the best pillow ever just got even better. And this just in, 9 brand new colors and styles of our Percale bed sheets. They're made with the finest long staple cotton, and now you can save 50% or more. That's as low as $24.98. And for the first time this year, I'm bringing you our My Slippers and Sandals for as low as $25 a pair. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your MyPillow 2.0s. Buy one, get one free. Percale sheets as low as $24.98. My Slippers and Sandals as low as $25 a pair. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships absolutely free.
The studio crowd is excited here in Hattiesburg. We always love to hear Gene Valentino. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, Pine Belt. Boy, the Velvet Hammer doesn't feel too velvet this morning. He feels more like the chainsaw.
Look, there's some sad news, but there's some silver linings here. I'll start this out if you don't mind. You know, we have the fairest justice system in the world here in the United States. Guess what? It's been compromised. It is now officially dead. The justice system in the United States. People can no longer trust the system that has made us the #1 country in the world where people want to come, where people want to show up, where people want to raise their children, where they know they get a fair shake in this country. It's over. But the good news, and there's always a silver lining in everything, is that we have an opportunity now to discover who the real enemies of freedom and justice are. We have that opportunity, and watch over the next days and weeks who defends this verdict against Donald Trump. And you will find the enemy. That is who they are, and they are a danger to you and your family and this country. What say you?
Well, we have talked with passion on hundreds of episodes over the last almost 3.5 years. And I must tell you that we have talked about the fear of this day coming. And I am now, there's a calm that comes over me during what I consider the more serious crisis the nation faces on a legal constitutional level. This has been the weaponization of our judicial system.
Absolutely.
We've seen the antics, Michael, in the administration. We've seen antics in the legislative, congressional side of things. And now we're seeing antics in the judiciary. The weaponization of our judicial system means you've got a Soros paid off prosecutor and you have a corrupt judge that's working with intent under the direction of Biden, which means Joe Biden, the Biden crime family. And really, he's so stupid. It's not him alone. It's a complicit scheme that's existed for over a decade, in particular, with Obama and Hillary Clinton behind the scenes, perpetrating illegal acts to this date. It was the weaponization at the ballot box, the screwing up of this early voting system, which varies state to state. And it was always in parallel that the intent to take down Trump, it had to happen because he was the only guy who had all the money he needed that could afford to come in here and save America without being owned by this complicit cabal. Now, at this moment, we believe that the Supreme Court of the United States must step in. The people see right through this, but the Supreme Court better strap on a set of balls and put this decision in reversal immediately. They have the authority to do it if they're willing to do it. But it is necessary that we not allow the delays in the governmental system, in the process, to create a fait accompli in our thinking, Michael. The Supreme Court, again, has the authority to step out now and immediately reverse this action to save this nation. And if they don't,
they have to be asked, though. They have to be asked to step in. And that's what the Trump legal team needs to do. They need to file an emergency appeal, and they need to ask the Supreme Court to step into this. Because let me tell you something, Gene, yesterday, the progressive socialists, they won. They won, and they have destroyed our legal system for political prosecution.
Okay,
but the Supreme Court can step in. But let me tell you something. Wait, they're after the Supreme Court, too. These progressive socialists are going after the Supreme Court. You see the first shots fired over Alito and the flag that his wife flew upside down. They're after them, too. So, you wonder, do these guys want to just step back and just kind of, not do anything because they're scared of their position? I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Okay, and I'll throw it out too. And my response to that is the scheme to steal our next election is underway. And it's incumbent upon you, me, Ted, and the hundreds of thousands listening or through Mississippi and the Gulf Coast on our joint network to hear this message and to step up, as we said, and speak out and win this election. I predicted before, and now I'm certain, we will see a massive tsunami at the voting booth this coming November. They just guaranteed Donald Trump's win for president. No matter how much rigging of the election is going on or could go on under their complicit schemes, it'll be overshadowed by the tsunami of people waving through the ballot boxes on election day. And I think
too big to rig.
Too big to rig indeed. And I do believe that there will be not a did you notice yesterday the idiots, as you mentioned this morning, jumping for joy with glee in the street, specifically in the New York area on the MSNBC reports and CNN reports? They were happy. They couldn't be happier and more gleeful over the win, over what they believe was a win for justice in America.
Right.
It was the complete annihilation of justice in America, and most of America sees it. There will be a political consequence, a legal consequence. This is not about Donald Trump. This is about the judiciary. This is about justice for you and me. This is about protecting a system that's worked for nearly 250 years. We've got to get this back in place. Donald Trump can be prosecuted. I'm almost touched. Here's the man putting his own humility aside and showing that this is not about him. This is about protecting justice in America, while they on that side are only happy to have hurt Donald Trump and his family personally. For them, it's a win against Donald Trump personally. For us, it's a loss against America. And Donald Trump sees it that way. And I'm convinced that when he gets reelected, it won't be revenge. I didn't hear revenge in his voice yesterday when he spoke. I felt a little bit, I heard him speak from a point of view of anger and disappointment. But I didn't hear revenge in his voice the way the Democrat liberal fascists have been spewing their vitriol for the last 3 years. I've had enough of it. America's got to step up now and protect this democracy. I don't care what party you're with. I will admit this. There's Democrats becoming Republicans. I don't hear about any Republicans becoming Democrats. I hear some of the undecided now saying, that's it, I've heard enough, I'm going for Trump. I think he wins with such a majority now that it will set a movement in place that was orchestrated and conspired going back at least 10 years under the Muslim Barack Obama.
You just remember this. We lost the battle yesterday. but we will win the war. And I believe that Donald Trump is going to be president again. Now, the question is, what will this judge in New York do? Will he, and let's be honest about this. I mean, President Trump is under Secret Service protection for life. The Secret Service has ultimate charge of him and his surroundings to protect him no matter what. Can he really put him in jail? I mean, I guess he can, but he's also going to have to clear that jail out, because you can't allow Donald Trump to be in a jail with other people who could harm him. And then you have to have cells for the Secret Service agents that protect him, because, I mean, it just presents a big problem. I'm interested to see what happens, because this judge, don't get me wrong, he wants to put Donald Trump in jail. He wants
because his boss Joe Biden told him to. That's revolving
exactly right.
door at the White House has been orchestrating this through rogue justices and prosecutors around the nation. And I submit that this is another diversion, deflection, and distraction from 2 million terrorists that have entered our country. The NRA is reporting now of all of the illegals that have come in under the Biden administration, over 10 million. 2 million of them are reported terrorists. My words, there was only 2,000 Hamas and Antifa types that took down Israel, where 1,200 people were killed over in Israel. That was 2,000 terrorists, known terrorists over there. Here we have 2 million terrorists in the United States that are planting themselves in the neighborhood, that are up and down the streets in your school systems, that are getting on police departments, that are working in different community interests, that are next to military establishments to destroy us from within. This is the George Soros conspiracy to take down America from within, and it's been compromised by Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and the stupidity of Joe Biden, all of this going back over 10 years. We must step up now and speak loud and clear and legally defend this nation from any further attack. And, you know, you have the right to bear arms. They can't get around that Second Amendment. So that's all I'm going to say on that point for this discussion. But it's clear that we better take the law into our own hands, as our Constitution allows us to defend this nation from the silent attack that's underway to our democracy, eating us from within. It's been talked about in the past, but it's right under our nose now. And the deep state loves this media for playing along. It's just a killer.
You know, you said something that sort of triggered something in my mind. Rome fell from within. Nobody could defeat Rome.
That's right.
But Rome fell from within because of internal rot. And that's where we are in this country today. The progressive socialists in this country today are rotting the inside of our country. And if we don't do something soon, this election, you know, is the most, I mean, you hear this every time, right? You hear it every time. This is the most important election, but this one really is important. We are at a crossroads in this country if we're going to allow these kind of things to happen in this country. Now, the other thing that I think needs to happen, we've only got 30 seconds left, but there needs to be retribution for this. If Donald Trump gets elected, what should he do? Quickly.
It's not on him to seek retribution. It's on him to protect the democracy. It's on him to do an enema and close down the FBI and the CIA, as we've grown accustomed to, because it's the layers of staffing within those organizations that has fermented this conspiracy against the Trump regime. He's got to restore democracy by giving more control back to the states and allowing the states to control more of the decision-making of government.
Thank you, Gene Valentino. You have a safe trip today. I know you're traveling, and you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, brother. Best to everybody.
Thanks.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.